Well, I would love to go for a ride sometime.
Well, I'd love to take you.
Where exactly were you going to take her in that truck of yours?
I was just going to take her around, just see certain places. If she just want to go for a ride, I'll take her for a ride. I mean, nothing, I ain't mean no harm in trying to do nothing.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we got another classic TCAP reaction for you, and this one is insane because this guy has 11 previous charges / run-ins with the law before even showing up to this decoy house and meeting Chris Hansen. And let's just say when he does, he is definitely off something and pretty much turns into an auctioneer in the way that he talks. Like, it is insane to see this man panicking and honestly so satisfying. So if you want to cringe with me, make sure you watch until the very end. But without any further ado, let's just get right on into this, shall we?
Tractor trailer coming down the road. Get ready.
You can probably guess what this next suspected senator does for a living.
All right, he said let him turn off the engine. He won't be able to hear anything until he cuts the engine.
That's right, we got a trucker. Dude, I don't know why, but I feel like this is kind of shocking. This is the first trucker we're seeing on this show. Or maybe there have been, but they didn't literally drive up in their like semi-trucks themselves. That's kind of ballsy, drawing a lot of attention to yourself. But let's go. I'm excited, dude.
He's a 41-year-old truck driver from Fayetteville, Georgia, Joseph Myrick. He thinks a 15-year-old girl is inside, ready to have with him.
So this is 41-year-old Joseph trying to meet up with somebody who is nearly a third of his age. I don't know why I really need to pay attention to the ages themselves, because really anybody over the age of 18 doing this stuff is terrible for doing so. But I don't know, at least what I just saw of this guy, he doesn't even look like he's 41 years old, so I'm sure they confirm that. Still, this man knows right from wrong. Let's watch him get his freaking butt whooped by Chris Hansen.
That's a big truck you got. How do you drive that thing?
Well, to be honest with you, it's like driving a car.
Well, I would love to go for a ride sometime.
Well, I'd love to take you.
Oh, wait, let me pause it. I'm sorry, I know. It's rude of me to cut you off like that, but dude, wow. Does this guy look older than 41, doesn't he? You can tell this guy has lived a very freaking hard life. I mean, he almost looks like somebody who's been brought to life multiple times in their life. I know that's very rude to say, but I feel like there's, no holding back when it comes to these dudes. They're pretty much a joke punching bag, and I won't feel bad about joking about anything involving them simply because of what they choose to do with their free time. Had this guy been just a normal, hardworking trucker, I got a lot of respect for those dudes. But no, as soon as you become a creep and start ruining people's lives online, doing these terribly, terribly awful things, or attempting to do them, then you lose my respect, and therefore, I'll just say anything I want about you.
Well, I'd love to take you.
Where exactly were you going to take her in that truck of yours?
I was just going to take her around, just see certain places, just talk to her.
Like where?
Holy crap, dude. This guy's speech got like 10 times worse. It was already kind of hard to understand him with the raspy voice and the, southern drawl. But now that he's nervous, I mean, you can see Chris Hansen walk out and the man starts to actually twitch. Like, you can tell he is really not having a good time already. And this is one of the #1 ways people change their speech when they're guilty. They just start to get so flustered. And I don't think this guy is intelligent enough to string together sentences now that he's under this much stress.
If she want to go for a ride, I'll take her for a ride. I mean, nothing, I ain't mean no harm in trying to do nothing I shouldn't be doing. Trying to, be no idiot and no pervert or nothing.
I just want to give her a ride in the truck. I mean, I'm a friendly guy. I like to give people a ride in the truck if they want. I'm not no weirdo or no pervert, though, if that's what you're thinking. Not that you said that anything about that, or nor am I, but I'm definitely not a weirdo. It's like, wow, dude. All right. he's having a rough go at this, and he's honestly at this point sounding like a freaking King of the Hill character. This is Boomhauer in the flesh, bro.
You say, well, I do think you're damn sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did. I have it all right here, so you might as well just tell me right now.
Oh, I said that? Oh, crap, dude. Yeah, man, you know what? It's a typo. When I'm driving, sometimes I just get so tired on the road that, I'll just be typing up random stuff and not really know what I'm saying.
I think you probably have a very nice ass as well.
I just fell into the conversation. I ain't gonna sit here and tell me no excuses for the things I said, because I fell into the conversation. It was totally, it was wrong. And,
I will give this dude one props here because, he is being honest. It's very hard to understand what he's saying. Shout out to NBC for adding some straight up subtitles. Those are definitely needed. But he's not trying to beat around the bush. He's saying, dude, you know what? If I said those things, I definitely fell into the conversation. And, there were some things going back and forth, some innuendos. I just fell head first, man. I was saying whatever I wanted to say. It's like, no, that's not an excuse, but he's not lying about it either. So he is doing better than a lot of these other creeps in terms of the whole honesty side of things.
You say, yeah, I'll be your bear, and we bears like tasting honey.
When you read it back to me like that right there, and I realizing what I said, no, you're right.
You know what? When you read it back to me, it does sound kind of creepy. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about it when I was sending it. Like I said, I'm just usually tired from the road. But yeah, I guess I did come off as a little bit pervy, huh? Like, yeah, dude, you think? Also, what are these freaking pickup lines? I'll be your bear, and you know us bears like honey. Like, bro, come on.
What do you think would have happened if I wasn't here? And in fact, a 15-year-old girl was here.
I told myself, I get in here and sit and just talk to her, you know.
You just said you were going to take her for a ride in the truck.
Okay. We got our first lie from him. This is expected. I mean, these guys aren't obviously going to admit to every single thing, but he claims that he's here because he wanted to sit down and talk to her about the dangers of what she's doing on the internet. Isn't it so nice that as soon as these guys get confronted, some of them just claim that the whole time they were the ones that were actually undercover, speaking to this decoy, trying to set them straight and make sure they don't make the same mistake again, because had it been someone creepy, you know, not them, they're not the creepy one, but had it been someone else creepy enough to show up here and do something bad, that could have been real bad. So I'm surprised none of them said, you know what, I'm glad you're here too, man. I don't know if you're law enforcement or what, but we got to talk to this kid and make sure she's not talking to no adults in the way she was talking to me, because it's not appropriate. They really want to be the good guy in their own story, but instead they're the exact opposite.
How do you think a girl's father would feel if a 40-year-old man took a 15-year-old girl for a ride in a truck?
He'd be upset, right?
And he'd be justified, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes, he would.
And he even admits, dude, yeah, if I was a father, I would not want myself giving a ride to some random kid, because he also gets asked about the fact that when he stepped in here before Chris popped out, he's like, yeah, I'll take you for a ride and all these different other things. It's like, dude, you just proved your guiltiness even more. Or is that even a word, guiltiness? I don't know. But it's weird that he's like honest about every single thing except for the reason that he's here.
You own that rig yourself?
No, sir.
So you work for a company that owns that rig?
Yes, sir.
And how do you think they'd take to the fact you're out driving that rig around?
I don't think they take very nicely to that, Chris. And in fact, I'm pretty sure this guy definitely lost his job after this. I mean, trucking is good money, dude. Yes, it is very, very hard work and, you know, meant for a specific type of person that doesn't mind being on the road and handling that stress all day, but it does pay very well. So this guy could have had a solid career for the rest of his life had he not gone and done this. And now he threw it all away. And he even says that in the chat logs, which I obviously don't cover as often because they're just so vile. But midway through, he's even like, hey, make sure you don't tell your mama about this, because you could be ruining something real good for me. You know what I'm saying? I like driving these trucks.
It was the wrong thing to do, and it won't happen again. And I know you got a job to do, and I see it all the time. And
you see what all the time?
On news reports.
Oh, but it sounds like this dude is kind of realizing what the situation is. He recognizes Chris Hansen. Maybe not exactly, but he knows these type of investigations were popular around the time. Obviously, he was the main person doing them. But I don't know. I kind of get the vibe that this dude thinks that somehow he can escape getting filmed or escape getting in trouble for this, somehow get out of it. It's weird when these guys have seen the show. They know that literally that has never, ever, ever, ever happened without, somebody getting taken away in a cop car and at least questioned. But he thinks, maybe there's a way out of this if I just am nice and honest.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. If there's anything else you'd like to tell us.
I told myself on one day, just talk to her, and just stay away from the sexual overtones.
So when the cameras come out, the guy really honestly holds his ground pretty well. He doesn't seem to be any more nervous than he was already. Like I said, he's kind of been acting like he's tweaking off of something this whole time, the way he's talking so rapidly. I know a lot of it is stress, but he claims that his final message for the people back at home is make sure your kids are not online with these undertones when they're talking to people. Again, blaming the decoy that was messaging him as if he's not the one that should know right from wrong and to stop this conversation from happening or continuing. But it's the kid's fault and it's the parents' fault. So anyways, he walks out to get arrested, and we find out something interesting about this guy's case. I'll just let them kind of go over it. I will have to censor part of it.
Yes, sir.
This individual, Joseph Myrick, he's had 11 prior arrests.
11 prior arrests.
11 prior arrests.
So that's right. He's got 11 previous charges stemming from the 90s. This guy has been repeatedly getting in trouble with the law. So I'm sure when he goes in front of a judge and, the jury and everything for this case, they're not going to be very light on him, which is good. That's what I want to see. And they also find a can of Diet Coke in his car. Obviously not exactly just a can of soda, but let's just say him being in possession of this can is definitely bad for his case as well. And probably the reason why he was speaking so fast and seemed so flurried when he was in the house earlier. I'm sure he had partaken with taking a few sips of this soda with his nose before he walked in. It just really is painting the whole picture and explaining a lot here. So thankfully, this dude got locked up and he is off the streets. We get some shots of him in front of the judge. He blames the fact that he was drinking this soda so often, not only when he showed up to the house, but when he was having the conversation. So hopefully he can get some help with that sort of, soda addiction. But I really think there's some other things underlying there that are causing you to be such a monster, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, turns out he was released on bail, and then later in his life, after serving a little bit of time and being released on parole, he failed to register as the offender that he is, and therefore had to spend some more time in jail. So it just seems like this guy's entire life has been a string of getting in trouble with the law. Not shocking at all, but I do want to know what you guys thought of this episode down below. I love the way this dude just seemed so nervous in the beginning. Very entertaining. As always, much love to my patrons. Uploaded a couple videos there yesterday, working on one after I upload this. Thank you so much to everybody who shows mad support over there. I appreciate you guys so much, and until next video, peace out.